This week, the government of Ireland decided that there would be 10 new special advisors for junior ministers. Now, their salary package will range from 65,000 to 100,000 euros. That's a lot of money. Now, I want to talk today about the corruption of the Irish system of journalism. I used to be a former journalist myself. I used to write for the Irish Catholic, Irish Mail on Sunday, Irish Examiner as a columnist. And because I had kids, I had to pack up. Journalism in Ireland is not greatly paid. It's quite insecure. And over the years, especially since 2016, many journalists have decided, for quite legitimate personal reasons, that they would move from a relatively low-paid, unstable job into an environment working for a government minister, which is well paid with great perks. Now, I can understand why they want to do that personally, but the problem is it's become so systemic since 2016 that it's become a virtual career path for many people. So when they come out of journalism college, they have an eye on the job working for a government minister. This is very, very dangerous. Why? Because they're supposed to be watchdogs, asking hard questions to those in power. And what is going on because of the financial inducement of a well-paid job by government ministers? It means that many journalists have their eye cocked on an alternative. So while they should be asking hard questions to those in government, sometimes they're kind of induced to go a bit soft, not go too hard, and then eventually hope that they themselves will get a very well rewarded job working for the minister. This has happened a lot of times. I'm going to show you 18 examples that I can find in the last number of years of people who have moved from supposed to be writing the first pages of history, standing up for those without power, speaking truth to power, is now soft soaping those in power. So I'm going to go through the 18 people, 18 journalists who've taken, let's say, the soup from the government and who may have been, while they were working in their journalism jobs, giving a soft soap to those in power. It's a problem, not just for me personally, not for the Irish Freedom Party, but for the whole country. Because the Fourth Estate has a very important job to hold those in power to account. And when that system is broken, we all have trouble. So here we go. We'll go through the list of people and see for yourself. Inside the beltway is a phrase used in Washington to describe the kind of incestuous political media world that those inside that physical area live in, and the thoughts, the preoccupations, the views that are very not held widely or universally outside that area. And we have the problem in Ireland of this political media nexus. As you can see from that list earlier, there's so many people have moved from journalism and media into a political world that they have a great commonality. And the problem of commonality of views is a problem because it doesn't reflect the diversity of the country. Look at how, let's say, socially conservative journalists have been treated in the last number of years. Many have been left voluntarily or been forced out because those with socially conservative views, like myself, find the journalism area in Ireland a very cold house. You've had great journalists like Kevin Myers, like John Waters, like George Hook. These are all kind of contrarians, those who give a completely different viewpoint to the normal received opinion, which generates from mainly Dublin 4. Now, many of the journalists aren't from Dublin 4, but they reflect the views of that small area around Montrose. And that is a great problem for Ireland because there's a great lack of diversity, just as there is a lack of diversity in media ownership in Ireland. And this creates a kind of golden circle of journalists and politicians, which I believe is very dangerous for Ireland because it doesn't reflect the diversity, it doesn't allow different views, it doesn't allow the conflict of different views, and from the conflict of free speech and different views, people come to a closer approximation of the truth. And conflict in ideas is normally good because people can see the strength of the various arguments and make up their mind. So that is, you can see that those who are supposed to hold the politicians to account often reflect their views. There is now financial inducement, and that's very dangerous. The journalists should be prosecutors of the politicians, not acting as prostitutes. And in Ireland, we're approaching that, and it's a very dangerous situation. We've got to improve the diversity of media ownership. We also should widen the range of viewpoints that are reflected in the press, as well as open up the Overton window of opinions that are heard in the public square in Ireland. There we go, that's it for today. Herman Kelly's my name, of the Irish Freedom Party. Thank you.